Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL in recent days, you've probably heard some intriguing rumors and reports that could really shake things up in the NFC East, and more specifically, for our beloved New York Giants. It's not every day that you see a blockbuster trade happening during the offseason, especially involving a talented running back like Kenneth Walker. And that's exactly what's been circulating lately. The Seahawks, yes, the Seattle Seahawks, are reportedly open to trading Kenneth Walker to the Giants. Now, I know what you're thinking, this could be huge. And trust me, it is. Because adding Walker to our roster might just be the piece we need to finally get that ground game back on track and give our offense a real boost. But let's back up a bit and analyze the bigger picture here. The Giants have been quietly rebuilding and trying to put together a squad that can compete at a high level. They're heavily focused on their quarterback situation, which remains unresolved at this point. They've got a battle between Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson, both of whom have their strengths and weaknesses. No matter who ends up under center, the fact remains that the Giants' depth chart at the quarterback position isn't quite where it needs to be. They've been trying to figure out whether Dart can be their future, or if Wilson, with his experience and leadership, can steer this team back to the playoffs. But as we all know, football isn't just about the quarterback, it's about having a balanced, multi-dimensional offense. And that's where the running game comes into focus. The Giants in the past few seasons have struggled to establish a consistent rushing attack, and that's been a problem. They've got some promising players like Tyrone Tracy, but the truth is, they need a more proven, reliable back to carry the load and take some pressure off their quarterbacks. That's why the potential acquisition of Kenneth Walker makes so much sense. Walker, just 24 years old and entering his fourth NFL season, has shown flashes of brilliance during his time with Seattle. Over his first 3 years in the league, he's managed to rush for over 500 yards and score 25 touchdowns. That's a solid production for a young back, especially considering the physical style of running Walker brings to the field. His power, vision, and ability to break tackles make him a perfect fit for Brian Daboll's offense, which emphasizes a balanced attack and smart, efficient play calling. If the Giants can add Walker, they'd be getting a player who could immediately upgrade their ground game and give defenses more to worry about. Now, here's the interesting part. In Seattle, Walker isn't necessarily the undisputed starter anymore. With Zach Charbonnet and George Halani emerging as key options during the preseason, the Seahawks are at a crossroads. Charbonnet, in particular, has shown he's ready to shoulder a bigger workload. And with Halani also impressing, the Seahawks might be considering moving Walker to free up more opportunities for their other backs. And that's where the Giants come into the picture, because Walker's age, talent, and potential make him a very attractive trade target, especially if Seattle is looking to rebuild or retool their backfield. Imagine Walker running behind the Giants' offensive line, which, while not perfect, has been improving. His physical downhill running style fits perfectly with what Daboll wants to implement. The Giants have been trying to develop a more physical identity on offense, and a player like Walker could be the centerpiece of that effort. He would not only complement Tyrone Tracy, but also provide the kind of stability and explosiveness that this team has lacked in recent seasons. Plus, with Cam Scatebo dealing with injuries and still being a rookie, the depth at running back isn't quite enough to handle the rigors of a full NFL season. Bringing in Walker would inject experience, talent, and a proven scoring ability. But let's also consider the bigger implications here. The Giants managed to pull off a trade for Walker. It signals a clear message to the NFC East and the league. New York is serious about contending. They're willing to make bold moves, invest in their roster, and give their young quarterbacks the support they need. Because, let's face it, with the division getting tougher every year, you need a well-rounded team that can punch back when it counts. And a guy like Walker could be just the piece to tip the scales in our favor. Of course, there's still some uncertainty. The Seahawks have been known to hold onto key players, but with the emergence of Charbonnet and Helani, Walker's role has diminished. If they see an opportunity to get good value in return, especially with the Giants showing serious interest, a trade could be on the table sooner rather than later. The Giants, for their part, are likely to be cautious but aggressive in their pursuit, knowing that acquiring Walker could be a game-changer for their offense. Now, let's talk about what this means for the team's overall strategy. The Giants have been emphasizing a balanced approach, and adding Walker would allow them to run the ball more effectively, control the clock, and keep their defense fresh. It would also open up more options in the passing game, as defenses would have to respect the run, creating more opportunities for play-action passes and deep shots. And of course, it would send a strong message to the NFC East that the Giants are not only rebuilding, but also reloading with talent that can make a real difference. In terms of the upcoming season, the expectations are cautiously optimistic. Fans are eager to see how Jackson Dart or Russell Wilson will perform under the new coaching staff, but everyone understands that a reliable running game is crucial for success. Walker's arrival could provide that missing piece, giving the offense a spark and helping to establish a more consistent identity. It's about building a team that can win in multiple ways, and adding a young, talented back like Walker is a step toward that goal. Of course, we also need to keep an eye on the other moves the Giants might make. The draft, free agency, and potential trades will all play a role in shaping this team's future. But right now, the focus is on this possible blockbuster move involving Kenneth Walker. If it happens, it could set the tone for the entire NFC East and even send shockwaves through the league. Imagine the Giants with a true, dynamic running back leading the charge. It could change everything. So, what do you think, Giants fans? Are you excited about the possibility of Kenneth Walker joining the team? Do you believe he has what it takes to be the missing piece that propels us back into playoff contention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your opinions. And remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, deeper analysis, and all the latest news about our Giants. This team is on the rise, and with your support, we're going to keep pushing forward together. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the faith that brighter days are ahead for the New York Giants.